There's certain things I think you've got to know. I think there's a degree in, the reality is it's still a small business, right? So we have a staff of now, let's say under 20 people, about 20 people, right? It's still a small business, right? So there's certain amount of things that you still need to know inside out. There's a degree of control I believe you still need. And I like to be across a lot of what is going on. So there's certain things I would outsource, definitely, and I always have, right? I outsource the copywriting to Connor for obviously the best part of the journey. Obviously, the strategy around the marketing, all that has come from you. I've outsourced the learning of the sales from AP. I've outsourced the Facebook ads with a contractor that we use, Estelle. She's great. But there's certain things I think you must learn. You must actually understand, because there's times where those people aren't available. I can't, for example, the marketing, the Facebook stuff, despite the fact that I can leverage off you to learn and I can leverage off Estelle to implement, I've had to learn how to work in between those lines when shit breaks at times when it's unhuman to contact anyone. So there's times where you need to be able to fix things, right? So you can't outsource all your sales. There's times where your salespeople are going to call in sick and you've got a full day of bookings and you've spent hopefully not $7,000 trying to get your diary full like I did once, AP. and you've got to get on the phone and you've got to be good enough to make it work. So you can't outsource everything. There's certain things you must know personally.
We've had a lot of clients and, some of them have come in and they've tried to outsource everything. And that's fine if you're a baller, you've got, millions of dollars to drop in a business and you're not going to be profitable for the first few years. If you do
fair enough.
And, the big thing for me is when people do try to outsource everything before they're ready, they're left with powerlessness. They're not able to actually do what you just said. If your salesperson's sick, you can't jump in and do the sales. If your marketing person's doing a shitty job, you can't do the marketing. That's what small business is about. It's about learning those skills so you can grow a business. There's a totally different skill set. People come in and they can take a business from 0 to 100, or someone comes in and goes from 100 to 1,000. And I suppose that's the skill set we learn because most of us don't have the resources to jump in at that high end.
Yeah, look, and something I suppose just to expand on that a little bit is, let's say sales is a huge part of the business, which it is, right? You don't have any clients. How can you give your staff feedback if you yourself have no idea what they're doing right or doing wrong? How can you give feedback in the chat sequence, for example, if you yourself don't know the script back to front, inside out?
Yeah.
You can't. So how could you know that the coaching process is any good unless you've got fundamentally an understanding of behavior change around some general concepts so that you know who to hire? It's not even listening to their calls. Who to hire? Who's the right person you want on the phone dealing with your clients, representing your brand? That's a skill. You need to know who you're looking for. So every aspect of the business, I think it needs your contribution at every stage. Every person you bring into the business is an investment, and they're also potentially a liability unless you know what they're doing well and not doing well. So I think you've got to know all aspects of the business so that you can give some critical feedback. Like I spend a lot of time listening to the sales team, their calls, trying to help them. I listen to some of the customer support team, listening to what they're doing. We review their emails. How do they write an email to a client? We look at all these things inside out. So there's a degree of control I think you need from the top of that, and you must know all the different things. And that again has been a huge skill in the marketing. Like, how do I know what ad to turn on and turn off if I haven't spent some time in there? I can't leave that. I can't outsource that completely. I can't, unless that person is full time and they're completely invested into that. You can't. It's too much of a responsibility. Yeah.